Hey, welcome to another video. Hope that you'll stay tuned to this one. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if these videos are helping you. This is our new channel that we just started this year. This is our secondary channel. Our first channel is Dale Outdoors, and I've been on there for a lot of years. As many of you have followed me over there for years, but some of you that's viewing me for the first time, or you've stumbled onto this channel, and you've never seen any of my stuff over on the main channel, I'm going to put the link in the description to the other channel, so make sure to subscribe to that channel too, because we really get into a lot of deeper things over there when it comes to strategies and turkey hunting and setups and you know, a lot of the calling stuff we get into in a lot deeper way over there. And it's but this channel here is kind of a more personal, behind the scenes sort of basic, getting back to basics. And you know, we're just trying to bring a lot of the information we've done over the years and just break it down on this channel in a more basic way. So anyways, in this video, I want to just sort of go over another contentment call that a lot of people have enjoyed learning over the years and have heard me talk about for many years on the other channel. But I want to break it down a little bit on this channel, a little bit more basic, and that is the wheels. Now, a lot of people will do they'll mix it up. Some people that's really good at it. Now, I'm not the best at it. Like, I'm not a world champion caller by any means. I couldn't win a competition, you know, if it was handed to me, pretty much. And I get that a lot. You know, people say, you know, you're not a great caller, and I'm like, well, you know, I don't suck. Like, I'm not the worst caller, but you know, if you could compare me to some world champion caller, no, absolutely not. But what I think helps a lot of people is that they see that you don't have to be a world champion caller and do world champion sounds in order to kill a turkey. If that was the case, hardly any of us would kill a turkey, because most turkey hunters are not world champion type callers. There's nothing wrong with that. We always are to get better. But what I like is to show you that, you know, even a mediocre caller, or, you know, kind of above average caller like myself, we can get the job done year after year after year when we're out there turkey hunting, because we put realism, and we set up right, and we put realism in our calling, and that's what gets turkeys, all right? So a lot of people can do this a lot better than me, but I'm going to show you how I do it and kind of what I've had success doing. Now, a lot of people will do a pull wheel, all right? That's kind of what they'll say, is a pull wheel. Personally, I've done that and I can do it, but I've never heard hens do that pull wheel a whole lot. I mean, I have every once in a while, but I've heard wheel a lot more than I have pull wheel. So I try to break it down in 2 notes instead of 3. Again, there's nothing wrong with the three notes, but and the 2 notes is a little bit simpler to do for beginners, but I like the wheel part a little bit more than the pull wheel, you know. But, you know, you can practice all the way, you know, all different ways, and it works great too. But I'm going to show you kind of what I do when it comes to the wheels, and kind of when I use it and kind of when I throw it in. Now, in the last video, we talked about the do it's, you know, and the hiccup. All right, that's just contentment calls. Now, this is a call that a hen does when she's just out there, she's feeding around, she's content, she's not spooked. She's just doing these little bitty sounds that you may not hear as a turkey hunter back, you know, way back, you know, 70, 80, 100 yards away. But she's doing these calls under her breath so low, but gobblers hear that, you know, because they have incredible hearing, and they hear that. So when they get up there, you know, when a gobbler gets up there and he hangs up a lot of times, and he's out there, you know, 75, 80 yards, or, you know, under the hill or whatever the case, and he's just not coming in, a lot of times you can do these wheels and do the, you know, the do it's and the hiccups, and you can do these calls while scratching the leaves, and just paint a picture that there's a real hen up there doing real things. Now, the wheel is kind of what a turkey does when she's feeding. You know, like when she's feeding a lot, she'll do the wheels, the pull wheels, the wheels. You know, she'll just kind of scratch the leaf, you know, scratch around if she's in the woods, or scratch around the field, and she's just feeding. So again, contentment. Nothing's wrong. So that convinces that gobbler many times to come on up there. And there's been many times when I've had a gobbler hang up, and the purrs and the clucks wasn't doing it to get him broke, but I start with the wheels and the do it's and stuff like that, and just be a feeding hen up there, And buddy, it convinces him to come on in and check it out. So I'm going to try to show you kind of how I do it, and that's the easiest way for beginners to learn too. Now, you got to have the right mouth call, okay? Now, if you think you're going to get some big cutter call and big old batwing call to do this, you know, it's a little bit harder. I'm not saying you can't, but it gets difficult. The more reeds that's cut out of the top, the harder it is to do this. So I do it, of course, you can do it on double reed, just a straight double reed call, which is really simple to learn a beginner. But this is my new mouth call I came out with this year. This is a call that I designed last year. I designed it just for this type of calling, that real under your breath, soft, purrs, clucks, wheels, you know, the do-it-do-its. I designed it for that purpose because I do that every single day when I'm out there in the woods and I'm calling. And the reeds are not as stretched as tight like some of the other mouth calls. So this is my new Old Sweet Hen 2.5 that you can get at springfevercustomcalls.com. If they're sold out, we'll be getting more. Just, you know, bookmark it and save the page and keep checking back, because they do get sold out quite a bit because they're a new call this year, and a lot of people's already commented how easy this call is to run. Now, the next important step in learning this call is on your mouth call that you choose to use, whether it's just a double reed or a call like this, or a good call that's designed to have easy airflow. You want to find the place on that call where you can get the highest pitch. All right. So let me give you an example. So I'm going to move my air around this call, and I want to find where that pitch goes to the highest. And it. There it is. Hear the difference? Just by moving my air over to the right on this call, just the right, not center right, but just to the right a little bit, I can get that higher pitch. So if I'm calling straight down this call like yelps and clucks or whatever I'm doing, if I want to do the wheels, I've just got to change my airflow, just got to change the call and start blowing out of the right side, and I can get that high pitch. Okay, if I move it to the left, it won't do it. Move it right. Okay, so I know that. So when I'm in a calling sequence and I want to do the wheels, I'm just getting that high pitch right on this call to the right, and then all you're doing is just saying wheel. All right, wheel. Instead of do-it-do-its or uh-oh like the last video, you're saying wheel, and kind of cut it pretty sharp at the end. Now what I do is it's just habit. I put a little bubble cluck at the end of it because I hear hens do that a lot. But you're just doing wheels. That little call right there is deadly. I mean, it's absolutely a deadly little call, especially when that gobbler is just under the hill out there and hung up. So these are calls that you want to include with purrs and bubble clucks and the do-it-do-its, and also the wheels. When you start putting sequences and you start kind of mixing it all together, you know, like a bowl of chili or something, when you put all this ingredients together, you've just stepped up your realism so much higher. And on them old finicky gobblers, a lot of times where they're, you know, they're not just going to come running in like a Jake or a 2-year-old many times. But these old finicky gobblers, especially in the late season, especially when they've been pressured a lot, that right there just totally can change the game for you. And all you got to do is just get that high spot on your mouth call and just start saying will. Now, where do I use this call during the day? Well, you know, like I said, if I'm working a gobbler and he hangs up out there and he's just not committed all the way, I'll do this call. But let's say the turkeys ain't gobbling and they're just kind of quiet. And I'm sitting up, say, on a flat, you know, in the woods, on the timber where I know a lot of scratching is. So where there's a lot of scratching, that's probably meaning that turkeys are in there feeding sometime during the day. So that's a good place to do it when they're not gobbling, just setting up and throwing that wheels in there. And also around the edge of a field, you know, pasture field, crop field, where the gobblers are coming in and feeding normally during the day. You know, a lot of times I've set up in the edge of a field when they're not gobbling and just start doing that light calling, you know, purrs, clucks, little soft yelps, throw some wheels in there and some do-it-do-its. And lots of times a gobbler has just come sneaking in right beside of me, and maybe not even gobbled till he gets almost right on top of me, or maybe not gobbled at all. But he's heard that. He's heard me doing all of them realism sounds, and it's convinced him to come on in and check me out. Stuff like that's what I do a lot when I'm sitting up and I'm just blind calling. And when you start throwing them little sounds like that in there, boy, it sure makes a difference. There's another call that you can practice. And yeah, like I said, you can do the pull wheel wheels or the wheel wheels, but you don't have to be a world champion caller. You know, you don't have to even be perfect at it, because hen turkeys are not perfect at it every time. They're just out there doing them little sounds. So practice it, sound as real as you can, and get out there and get confidence. And when you got a gobbler that's hung up out there, try them little sounds like that, and it might just convince him to come on up there. All right, so make sure to subscribe to this channel if you want more of these type of videos, and go over and subscribe to Dell Outdoors, where we really get into some deep turkey hunting stuff. And I really appreciate everybody watching the new channel. Hit that subscribe button. Let's get these subscribers up this year, and I hope to see you in the next video really soon. So stay tuned to Ways of the Woodsman.